I shot a nice 8-pointer last night about 2 miles back in a nasty swamp, and I shot it right at closing time. We didn't get it out last night. We're going back in for it this morning, and I thought that'd be a great opportunity for me to show you how I get my bucks out of the woods and out of the swamps. Okay, we got a buck down in the swamp 2 miles back from where we can park, and I wanted to show you guys our extract equipment. This is actually Mario's equipment, the same stuff I use. We got a cart for the dry land, and then we got a sled for going through the swamp that will actually tie a deer down in. We can actually even pull the sled up onto the cart. So it's kind of important because it can take you forever to get a deer out of these swamps, and you can ruin the cape dragging them over brush and stuff.
Yeah, and these sleds, if you guys are looking for a sled, they sell sleds specifically for deer hunting, but this thing actually is just an ice fishing sled that I use. It's really heavy gauge plastic, so you can go over logs with it. And, because of that, it works really well for this scenario. And I just drilled holes in the side of it so we have something to tether the deer to, and we can set it right up on this cart. So if you've got a combination of oak islands and marsh, bring your cart in back as far as you can, drop it off, and then take your sled back to the deer. You know, retrieve the deer with the sled. You'll keep the cape nice and clean, and then just lift it up and set it on the cart and wheel it on out.
Yeah, it keeps the muck from getting into the chest cavity and stuff too. Keeps it clean, no bacteria. Another thing is too, if you can get one of those bigger sleds, I think that's going to be my next purchase, is one of those big ice fishing sleds that's got a deep bottom, because the antler's always catching the brush. And actually, sometimes it's better to put the deer on backwards and have the antlers facing that way so they don't get caught in the brush when you're pulling.
Yep.
If you use the smaller sleds.
The other key component is to find someone that'll help you, like Dave, who's going to come out with us and help us do this.
Yeah, and somebody to drag for me while I watch and make sure there's no sticks in the way.
An extra body is always handy.
All right, let's go get them. All right, we're about halfway, and we're running out of hard ground, so this is where we're going to drop the cart. Leave that here, and now we're going to take the sled the rest of the way, because the cart won't go through this stuff. The grass will get caught in the wheels and it'll sink in the swamp back there. Okay, we got to tie them into the sled and make sure all the legs and everything are tight in there tight so they're not catching stuff. And we cut the tendons here because the legs were sticking out. That's an old Indian trick I learned. Right, Mario?
Yep, it's an old Indian trick.
Actually, Mario just told me that we had an argument about whether or not the legs would move, but they're moving. So we got to tie them in there good so we can drag them through all the swamp. We just got to go 2 miles that way.
Dave's excited.
Okay, so we got them all strapped down and in there tight, and now we get to try and get them through all this stuff. So what we do is we put a stick through here, and it makes it so 2 people can drag. It makes it a lot easier. And then if we get to a spot where it's really tight, we take the stick out and one person drags for a little while, and we take turns. If you're doing this and it gets heavy and you get winded a little bit, all you do is you tell Mario you got to do some filming, and then he does all the work.
Why give me a blue
Okay, we're gonna cross the river now. What are we gonna do, Mario?
Well, I got a strap. We're gonna tie a strap onto the rope. Dan's gonna cross the river. I'll throw him the strap, and we'll pull the sled and the deer right across the river. And hopefully none of us will get our boots wet, but that might happen anyways. Dan's working on getting his boots wet before we get the deer across.
That doesn't help. I already got new holes in my new muckers.
Yeah, your new boots. Fresh holes.
Alrighty. All right, come on over. How about have Dave come over and pull, and you can keep the antlers from tangling.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's the magic river that none of the other hunters want to cross, and that's where we get all our action across the river. All right, heave ho. Ooh, he's taking the dunker. Come on, Mario, somebody's got to take a dunker.
I don't think it's to go over your boots.
It is in the middle. I've rode that down to my waist.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a nice little boot dunk in here in December once.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
December's another thing.
I did too, but your feet don't stay wet because the ice builds up and
Yeah.
keeps them warm.
I think I jogged back that night. All right. All right, so we're pulling this buck through this swamp grass here. Obviously this rack gets tangled up in the swamp grass, makes it harder to pull. So we're just taking an old sweatshirt, we're gonna drape it over the rack, tie it up, and that'll keep it out of the swamp grass so it doesn't hang. Pretty simple trick, but it works.
Look at that, no tangles. All right, so now we came through all the swamp and we're back up on the high ground. We're on an island and we just got a little dip we can get through with the cart. So we're gonna pull the deer up onto the cart and take the cart across the dry land. Get on, help it up, Dave. There you go. Now we gonna put a strap around them?
Yeah, I got straps. Here, just hold that right there.
Run to an oil change while you're down there?
Yep. It'll open now.
You look at just where the brush bumped up against them here. You know, that's why you don't want to drag that thing through the swamp just by the antlers. You wouldn't have much of a cape left. One of the more important things to remember when dragging out a deer like this, well, it's not as important as it is just downright fun, is to always stop by every random trail camera you see and pose and just let them know the big buck serial killer was here. Okay, so it's always a hassle to get deer in trucks too, but if you leave them in a sled like this, one guy can just grab each end and just pick it up and put it in the truck, like this. A lot easier than the old standing a hitch and hoist and 3 guys pulling on it. So if you look too, nothing wrong with the cape. Didn't pull no hair out, didn't get no nicks. I know a lot of my friends have heard my wife spouting off that I gotta shave once I kill something. Well, just want to let you know, I wear the pants in this family and the beard's staying on. Well, that wraps up my buck extraction video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a lesson or two. I know I did.